Sometimes I wonder if people spend too much time binge watching trashy soap operas and completely forget that in the real world, we have something called the police. It all started during gym class. My period decided to make a surprise, heavy-handed appearance, so I ran back to the empty classroom to grab a pad from my bag. That was it. That was my crime. Now, Kaylee Miller, our resident clean-cut sweetheart, was stood there, eyes welled with performative tears, claiming I'd stolen the $10,000 in graduation trip funds. She called me a shameless thief, her voice trembling just enough to sound convincing. Madison Page, the class vice president and Kaylee's loyal shadow, jumped up immediately. "You're the only one who came back to the room, Riley. If it's not you, then who? Just give it back now, and we can pretend this never happened." Our homeroom teacher, Mr. Henderson, shot me a look so sharp it could have drawn blood. His voice was cold, authoritative. "Riley, those funds belong to the entire class. Bring the money tomorrow, and I'll make sure this goes no further. Consider it a mercy." A cold laugh bubbled up in my chest. I didn't sit down. I stood up, my chair screeching against the linoleum. "Actually, Mr. Henderson, let's call the police. $10,000 is grand larceny. That's a felony." I watched the piece of chalk in Mr. Henderson's hand snap as he froze mid-sentence at the blackboard. Before he could find his voice, Kaylee spoke up, her tone dripping with faux concern. "Mr. Henderson, please, let's not blow this out of proportion. It would be so bad for the school's reputation. Maybe we can just talk to Riley? Give her a chance?" She turned to me, her eyes wide and pleading. "Riley, just admit it. If the cops come, you'll have a record. You'll go to jail. We're classmates. It doesn't have to end like that." Madison rolled her eyes, scoffing at Kaylee. "Kaylee, you're too soft. You think of her as a friend, but she clearly doesn't feel the same. She's just banking on the fact that you're too nice to call her out." Mr. Henderson finally turned around, adjusting his glasses. "Riley, sit down. Let's finish the lesson. We'll settle the fund issue after class. Let's not waste everyone else's time." My father raised me with one golden rule: handle things now. Delay gives the devil time to move. I didn't know what their next move was, but I wasn't going to wait to find out. I didn't care if the sky fell down today. Those cops were being called, and more importantly, I was calling my dad. This felt staged. This felt like a trap. The school was Henderson's turf, and I needed an adult in the room who wasn't afraid to set the place on fire to keep me warm. "No," I said, my voice steady. "We call the police. Now. That money belongs to every student in this room, and my reputation belongs to me. I'm not letting either of them stay missing." A few guys in the back started thumping their desks, the rhythm catching on. "Cops! Cops! Cops!" They weren't being supportive. They were bored teenagers smelling a scandal. Their faces lit up with the primal excitement of watching someone else's life go up in flames. Mr. Henderson's face turned a mottled shade of purple. "This involves the school standing. I have to consult with the principal first." Excuses. Always excuses. I knew he'd never call them for me. Unfortunately, the school had a strict no phones in class policy, and mine was locked in my locker. I softened my tone just a fraction, playing into his desire for an easy out. "Fine. Then let me call my dad. Since the money is gone, I'll have him bring $10,000 to cover the gap while we investigate. Just let me use your phone." Mr. Henderson's expression relaxed slightly. He reached into his pocket and handed me his iPhone. As I took it, I heard Madison whisper loudly, "See? I told you she took it. Why act so tough if you were just going to pay it back?" I ignored her and dialed my father's number. It rang twice before a gravelly, deep voice answered. "Yeah?" The moment I heard him, the knot of tension in my stomach unraveled. "Dad, it's me." I could hear the frantic clicking of a mechanical keyboard in the background. My dad was clearly mid-chapter. "Using someone else's phone to call me? What's wrong, kid?" For a man who looked like he spent his time fixing engines or breaking bones, my dad had the most intuitive mind I'd ever known. He was a suspense novelist, a man who got paid to think 10 steps ahead of the villain. I told him the prom funds had been stolen. I made sure to emphasize the part about him bringing $10,000 in cash. With my dad, you didn't need to spell things out. He knew I was asking for backup. The typing